Hi, good morning. This is a reflection on lesson 365, in A Course in Miracles that says, "This holy instant would I give to you, be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace." It's something like that. I'm not good with remembering all the long ones, but you can go back and look at lessons 361, 2, 3, and 4. They're all the same. They're literally the same lesson. I'm just reflecting on different pieces that jump out to me. I'm trying to be quiet because it's New Year's Day, because I would always read the lesson, reflect on it, and then the next day is when I do the video. So that's why I'm doing the last one on New Year's Day, 2026. Okay. So the thing that I wanted to reflect on with 365, and I can't remember what I said about the other one, so it might be the same, might be different, is it made me think of the state of flow when you're so in the present moment, you're so in presence, not thinking about the future, not thinking about the past, not worrying about anything, because I feel like worry is this thing that it pulls us out of presence. It's like the only thing we could possibly worry about is what potentially might happen or potentially did happen at some other time. It's not now. And so the peace that this book talks about, or this lesson, I feel like happens when we're following that flow, that you could call it a God state because you're just in it. That's all there is. This timeless, eternal, present moment. I don't even like the word moment for this. Moment feels like it's locked, nailed down a little bit, stabilized as this microsecond or whatever, but it's not. So for some reason, I don't even like the word present moment. I was thinking about that yesterday. I really just like the word presence. It feels timeless. It doesn't even feel like a noun or a verb. It doesn't feel like a state that we're trying to lock down. It feels like flow. It feels like anything could happen. It feels like infinite possibility. This presence. And it might be something we embody in that, like, I don't feel pulled forward, backward, stuck to head in the clouds. I just feel in a state of creative flow, and not creative in the sense like you've got to have a creative skill. I just mean like that pure potential energy where anything could into creation. So that's what I really, and I feel like, just to reflect on this, how I feel now versus another time of the year, perhaps like earlier in the year, it's like I always remember that being like an ideal, a place that I have visited many times. It didn't feel like the eternal, non-resting, resting place where there is nowhere to rest because there's nowhere I'm trying to find footing, or nowhere I'm trying to settle, myself in the midst of chaos. It's like I don't see the chaos because it's like there's just constant happenings that we can be like, I feel more in a state of flow in. Not all the time. I know I have to put that caveat in there a lot. It's not all the time, but when I really quiet this noise, that's all that's here, is like pure potential. And it feels alive. It feels calm. It feels vibrant and energetic, yet deeply settled in the unsettled. This is where paradox, I think, lives. I love paradox. It feels like paradox is not like where you're trying to bring two distinct opposites together to say, look, they're both true. It feels like dimensionally nothing's an opposite. Everything's true. There are no opposites. What does that even mean? Everything is allowed to coexist harmoniously. So anyway, so I'm going to do a different reflection on the whole year as a summary, because I've been thinking about, man, what a doozy of a year. So thank you for coming along with me these 365 days, or however many. I really appreciate you sitting with these same thoughts, reflections, ideas, frustrations. So many frustrations early on, like especially with the language of this book. And it's one thing, if I forget to say it in the year-long reflection, is really just I've always felt deeply oriented toward personal growth. I could say that. I haven't always felt deeply spiritual, but maybe the flavor of it was personal growth and like always trying to transform myself, grow as a person, grow emotionally more mature, which took a long time, still takes a long time. And so I wouldn't always call it spiritual. So when I really picked up this book, I was like, oh God, there's a lot of God language. There's a lot of he, him baggage that I carry as a woman in 2025. Now 26. But there's a lot of patriarchy baked into the Christian language. There's a lot of echoes of dogma. I could hear, Echoes of Dogma. What a great album title. If you steal it, I want a kickback. I need a side hustle. There's just so much in the way of language that really came up for me in this, because I love language. I'm not a master at language, but I really appreciate what it can do. And I really am aware of what it can do when it's loaded, when when it's used in a way that is designed to get us swept away in the floofiness of the language. What does that mean? I'm not even using language well right now. But when it's deeply loaded with centuries of baggage, and it's designed to hit that spot in us that says, here, feel that. Because I know it's loaded, and you're not going to think deeply about what that word means because it's loaded. Then I get a little rebellious. And I felt that rebellion rise up in me quite a bit earlier this year. What does that word mean? Why are you trying to trigger me with it? And I had to go through a lot of self-reflection with what baggage am I carrying that's even triggering me in that way? So that was good. It really also helped me, and that was more like patriarchy, religiosity, dogma stuff that I was carrying, and still am to some degree. And then also just the word God itself, and really appreciating how the book points to the deep, it still uses the language in a way that's like a pointer, but it really it points to God within. Like I said the other day, I guess it points to God isn't something out there. It said it in a million different ways, but you are God. The voice of God is your own voice, your own. And I keep pointing here. I don't know where it is. It's just that intuitive place. It's like that intuitive knowing. Doesn't have to sound like a voice, doesn't have to come with an image. For me, they are knowings. Like, whoa, where did that come from? Oh, the deep place within me that knows things or that taps into the deepest truths. However that works, and I don't even want to presume to know how it works. That was another thing this year, was like the orienting out there to in here. So redirecting. So it's like whenever I try to understand, like, what do people mean by this? It's like, no, wait a minute. What do I feel by this? You know, what does it mean to me in my depths? And so there's an inner trust and confidence that has been emerging through the reflections with, like, we are each so uniquely different that no matter what baggage these words carry, I want to honor the uniqueness of each individual's brain and the messy way it works. And I just want to drop all assumptions that I even know what's going on in your brain or body or emotions or sensations, anything. I don't want any assumptions left. And I feel like I was on a good journey with that, doing pretty good with like the work I do with people, and I felt like I had a good starting point, but I was still carrying a lot of assumptions. And with this book, I'm like, damn, assumptions do no one any good. And even the subconscious or the subtle ones I was holding, like without being conscious of them, I started to see, I do still assume there's a certain baseline understanding of things we all carry, or, it came up in a lot of ways. No, we're all so freaking, like, how I'm dumbfounded with that revelation. Like, I really felt it. Like, I'd known it, oh, yay, we're all unique. Yeah, of course. No, like, we are. And that's our superpower, I'm dumbfounded by, like, how can we even, two people, have a conversation? How can we even look at each other and connect at any level? It's fascinating because we're all like, the juices in our meat suits are doing different things, and like different chemicals firing different neurons at different times, and we're having different internal dialogue versus external. It's like we're just like two pots of soup that get spilled on the floor at the same time, and somebody walks through it and messes all our soup guts up. That makes no sense.